you think that was okay or should I do it again?
That was fine.
Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This week we are doing the holiday look. So this is more of the look that we can wear for Thanksgiving, for New Year's Eve, for Christmas, anything like that or a party, it doesn't matter. This is just more of the holiday look. So this is more of a bolder lip, a golden eye. We're talking about cheeks and some bronzer and some highlighter. We're talking about the whole shebang. So this video is actually super fun to do. So if we should probably have me just stop talking and let's just show you what we got today. Sounds good. Okay. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to start with my brows. I kind of go with my brows first, that way I have more of an outline of how my eyes and everything else will go. So I'm going to go in with my Anastasia Beverly Hills Perfect Brow Pencil in the medium brown shade, and I'm just going to follow my natural shape of my eyebrows. So I'm even going to kind of follow the shape, follow the direction of the hairs. Right here I'm going to kind of swoop it up just a little bit because here my hairs are kind of going up and then they curve a little bit more. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to fill those in just a little bit, and then I'm also going to extend the ends of my brows. And then after that, we're going to take the little brush end of the pencil and we're going to just brush out the lines and the harshness of the eyebrows that the pencil had given us, and that way it's a little bit more of a smoother transition. Okay, so once we did the pencil, now we're going to go in with the pomade. So what we're going to do is we're going to go in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dipbrow Pomade, and we're going to go in the color Taupe. I'm only using the color Taupe because I do have a lightness to my hair. I do have blonde in it, so I want to make sure that my eyebrows aren't too dark or too light compared to my hair and my skin color. So I like to kind of mix those two shades, but I am going to go in with the pomade, and I'm just going to use an eyebrow brush, and I'm going to do the same thing that I did with the pencil. I'm just going to do with the pomade on a brush, if that makes sense. So we're going to follow the shape of our eyebrows. We're going to follow the shape of our hair. We're going to kind of not throw it up, but we're going to just kind of angle it more so that the brush and the makeup are kind of going upwards with the hair, and then they're kind of turning and curving a little bit as the hair is turning on its own. So it's more of following the natural brow. Then again, we're going to use the same brush. I actually use the little brush on the end of my pencil, and then I brush out the pomade as well, so there's nothing too harsh. Hashtag blend please. Oh my god, I'm going to use that hashtag forever now. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take the ELF HD Mattifying Cream Foundation, and I actually kind of use it more as a concealer. So I'm going to use the color Sand, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take a really thin, more of a pointed concealer brush, and I'm going to follow the bottom line of the arch of my eyebrows. So I'm doing this because it's a natural highlight, as well as it sharpens up the edges of my eyebrow, because I want my eyebrows to pretty much be the center of attention-ish, kind of. It's more to kind of give a definition to your brow and to your brow bone here, because later we're going to have a highlight. Now we're going to go into our eyes, and we're going to start with the color Bliss from the Stilla in the light eyeshadow palette. And what we're going to do is we're going to make our creases first. So we're going to go in with the color Bliss, and we're going to start now making our crease color. So we're going to go from the end of our eye all the way to almost the end of the other side. So we're going to go to each side, and we're going to cut into the crease here. We're going to blend it up so that we have space on our eyebrow and on our lid here. So it's only going in the middle of those two areas because we are going to have color there later. So we're going to just very, very lightly brush it in, and make sure you try not to get as much droppings because we don't want this to be too dark yet. And we're going to, again, just very lightly put in the color into the corner. Now we're going to go in to our Lorac Pro Palette Edition 1, and we're going to take the color Sable, and we're going to now do the smoky part of it. So it's going to be at the end of the crease, and we're going not even halfway up. So we're kind of cutting into the Bliss color, but we're still not touching our lid area here. So this area is still all pretty blank, and there's nothing there yet. So we're going to put in the color Sable, and we're going to go a little bit halfway, and then we're going to use a clean, fluffy brush to blend it out. After that, our next step is we're going to go in again with the same palette, the Lorac Pro Edition 1 palette, and we're going to use the color Expresso. Now I'm using the same brush that I used for the Sable and for the Bliss color. We're just gradually adding on color. So I'm going to take the brush, and it's more of a circular brush. I'm going to dip into the Expresso, and I'm going to press it in, and I'm flicking it out so that as I'm putting it on, I'm diffusing the lines, and I'm not making too much of a harsh line or a stroke anywhere else. It's very, very blended in, but you still have the darkness, and I only want this darkness because it is dark. I only want the color into the corner of the eye, so just for depth later on. For our lid color, what we're going to do is we're going to go into a Lorac Unzipped Gold palette, and we're going to use the color Unleashed. Now, this is a darker gold, but it is shimmery, so it's really pretty, and it's great for the holidays. So what we're going to do is with the color Unleashed, we're going to take in more of a flat brush, and we're going to dip it into the color, but then we're also going to pat it on to our lid. So everywhere that we didn't touch with the darker colors before, we're going to put in the color now. So it's just very, very lightly, you're going to dip it in, and you're just going to pat, 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 pat. And then afterwards, you're going to take, again, a clean, fluffy brush, and you're going to just blend out the edges here so that the gold kind of runs into the dark, smoky eye colors that we put in, if that makes sense. And that way, again, we're dissolving the lines, and we're kind of making everything just one mesh of really pretty colors. For our highlight, we're going to go back to the Stilla in the light palette, and we're going to use the color Kitten. And we're going to, I take more of a loose angle brush. Right now I'm using a Morphe M150 brush. And so I'm going in, I'm dipping it into the color, and then I'm just lightly, very, very lightly, because a lot of the times when you have a lot of pigment on your brush, then it gets too much, and then you blend, and it kind of becomes a mess. But very, very lightly brushing off some of the leftover residue. And I'm going to lightly follow, again, where I put the concealer before, I'm going to put over the color Kitten, and we're going to just follow in the natural brow bone shape, and that's going to be our highlight. We're going to do that on both sides, and then again, if the lines are a little bit harsh, then I'm going to use, again, a clean, fluffy brush, and I'm going to kind of dissolve that line again and blend it out. So next part is actually my favorite part, and so we're going to put on some liner. Not only just liner, we're going to wing it out. And so if you are wondering how to do wing liner, I do have a video that I've already made, so I'll make sure I'll link that down below, that way you can check that out and learn how to do it. But what we're going to do is we're going to wing it out, we're going to take a little bit of a gel black liner, and we're going to make our edges and then connect them very quickly. And then again, you can use, you know, a Q-tip to sharpen, you can do anything like that. But make sure you check out that video if you want to learn more. See what I did there? Before we move on to the bottom of our eyes, I like to put in a little concealer. I like to clean up my little spots and make sure that, you know, there's no droppings, there's no remaining of eyeshadow, nothing has fallen underneath, all that stuff. So I clean it up with a Q-tip and some cream remover. So I'm going to take the ELF Under Eye Concealer and Highlighter, and I'm going to use the color Light. And I'm only going to use the concealer part, but I am going to make a couple dots, you know, warrior style, going under my eyes, and then we're going to blend it out, use my beauty blender to, you know, kind of blend that out, and then I'm going to set it with some powder. Now that that's done, we're going to move on. So for the under eye, instead of using eyeliner, I'm going to go in with some eyeshadow from the palette Lorac Pro. So the Edition 1 palette, the same palette we've been using before, I'm going to use the color Sable. Now since we're using Sable, since we had it in the top of our eyes, and we just kind of want everything to connect and work well with each other. So I'm going to just take more of a smudging brush. I'm only going to go in halfway, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it and I'm going to follow along my lash lines and then stop about midway. And then I just kind of use the brush to kind of fill it in later and just kind of like smear it so that it like fades out into my lash line. So we're going to go a little bit more. So I'm going to use the black diamond coating, and what it does is it helps seal in the lashes as well as dust off any of the leftover or fallen eyeshadow that I might have gotten on before. So it brushes them out, it seals them in, and it darkens them up. So it's like my extension mascara. And since I do have extensions and I do put my own mascara on the top, I am going to put actual mascara on the bottom. So I'm going to go in with the IT Cosmetics Hello Lashes Mascara, and I'm just going to lightly brush over my bottom lashes, that way that they're both darkened. So the top and the bottom kind of match, and there's not one overwhelming the other one. Okay, so now for the face part of it, we're going to go in with two different bronzers at the same time. Crazy, right? I know. So we're going to go in with the Makeup Forever Pro Bronze Fusion and the Wet n Wild Starlight Bronze. And we're going to mix these two together, and we're going to kind of lightly contour our faces. So I always suggest I kind of make like that fishy face a little bit. and I'm just following the lines, so from like the tip, you know, the corner of your mouth all the way up to your ear, around your hairlines. I even go around my chin and jawline a little bit and kind of drag it into my neck. That way it's a little bit more blended. But we're going to use those two, and they are definitely more on the dewier side of things, and I like dewy, so that's kind of more of why I chose to go with this color. Now, if you like more of a matte bronze, you can go ahead and swap out any of the products and make sure that they are your, you know, they make you feel comfortable, and just make this look your own. So for the blush, we're going to go in with the Too Faced Sweethearts Perfect Flush Brush Palette. And so with that, we're going to kind of dip it into more of an angled brush. And we're going to, I like to smile. I like to smile at myself and make sure I get the apples of my cheeks, and I bring it all the way up to my ear. We don't want to go too high to where you have blush in your eye socket, or you have it down here in like your jaw and your mouth area. It just isn't the best look, I feel. So we're going to go on with that, and then I'm going to actually take the brush that I use, my bronzer, and I'm going to kind of buff that out so it's not too pink, because I'm going to go in with some dark lipstick a little bit later, and I don't want everything to be too overpowering, and I don't want to be that lady walking around the street that people look at and like point and take pictures of in a bad way. So now for our highlighting portion of this video, we're going to go in with Smashbox Halo Highlighting Wand, and we're going to use the one in the color Gold. So this is kind of more of a liquidy type foundation, so I'm just going to push my button and just put just a little bit, and I'm going to actually use the brush that it comes out of to blend in for me, and then I'm going to go ahead and use my finger and kind of press that in a little bit more and make sure that those lines are a little bit buffed out. For my next step, we're going to work on our lips. So I'm going to go in with Jordana Easy Liner for Lips in Sedona Red, and I'm going to outline the natural shape of my lips. I do personally like to kind of arch this to where that they're a little bit more of the point of the Cupid's bow, and so with that I'm going to kind of, you know, point those out, but I am going to only follow the actual line of my lips and not do anything too crazy. So for our final touches, we're going to go in with the color Nabi. And we're going in with a lipstick color called Real Red. And we're going to, again, just put on lipstick the way that you would actually put on lipstick. So we're going to just put it in, put the colors in, and then sometimes you can go back in with the lip liner and then reassure that everything is all said and done. It's all easy. Everything is lined and perfect and shaped. And not all crooked. Alright guys, there you have it. There is your holiday inspired makeup tutorial. So if you guys have any questions, any feedback, anything like that that you want to share with me, please don't hesitate to write those down below in the comments. Also, if you do recreate this look, please hashtag Raemie Makeup and I Do Hair and Makeup Artistry. That way we can see how you guys are feeling inspired. I love to see when you guys are inspired. Just make sure you give this video a thumbs up and you subscribe and share with your buddies, and you know, make everybody feel pretty too in the world, and stay tuned until next week.